Hello everyone, we are CowChip teams. I'm Xinyi.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Eli.
Today we will be present our version for an AI-driven Internet of Things solution for livestock health. Here is the outline for our presentation. We will start with the problem of cattle mortality, then introduce our solution CowChip. After that, we will explain the functionality of how mouse and non-mouse work together and share our roadmap for future development. Finally, we will outline the benefit, risks, and mitigations and close with our recommendation for next step. Here is the problem statement. The cattle majority is a huge challenge for U.S. farmers, and dairy herds lose over 288,000 adult cows every year, while the beef herds lose more than 500,000. The main causes is illness, unknown conditions, and stresses. They are often preventable but go undetected until it's too late. These losses are not only tragic for animal welfare, but also cost the agriculture industry like millions of dollars. Our team believes this problem can be solved with a smarter approaches. What is the solution for the situation? It's CowChips. It's a smart AI-driven Internet of Things implant that protect the cattle health. It's tracked vital signs like temperature, ruminations, activities, and hydrations by using MAM sensors, while the low-power mouse logic process the data in real time. This is allowing farmers to detect illness stresses or breeding cycles earlier. That is also saving the animals before it's too late. With the wireless transmissions, the cow chip gives farmers clear way to reduce the mortalities, also improve the breeding and increase the productivities and save both lives and millions.
All right. So how does our device work? It works the same way a human body does. So we have our brain, which your brain, if you think about what your brain does, it controls the thinking, it controls your hands, your feet, everything like that. And our device works the same way, where our MOS, metal oxide semiconductor features, are our brain. We have a microcontroller unit, which is the controller or the master of our device. Our neural processing unit, which is the brain or the thinking of our device. Our radio frequency transceivers, which send all of our data out to the farmer's software, so that way they can view our data, and power management circuits, because in order for these devices to live the entire lifespan of the animal, power management is extremely vital. And also on the human body, we have things like eyes, hands, feet, things that take in data. And our non-MOS features work the exact same way. With our MEMS sensors, we can track location, activity, pH, temperature, all of the vital health factors that the farmers need to be looking at in order to keep their animals thriving. We also have micro batteries and energy harvesters. Again, going into this power management, with energy harvesters being able to generate energy on their own for our device. And also another big one is our biocompatible capsule. We can put whatever we want into these cows, but if we put harmful or toxic chemicals or devices, then the cow will obviously die because of our product. So making our device biocompatible is extremely important. And our device is the combination of both of these things, both MOS and non-MOS, where our MOS features are the intelligence, the processing, the AI, the communication, where our non-MOS are the sensors, the power, everything like that. And together, when we combine these, it creates a reliable, autonomous system where neither works alone, and we can ensure that every animal on Earth is thriving. So our roadmap for our device, it starts off in obviously phase 0 and 1, where we pilot the device. So we have our problem, cattle are dying unexpectedly and can be prevented. We have our audience, we have the farmers. So we need to pilot this device and get true value and return on investment for these farmers. Some KPIs for this phases 1 and 0 are greater than 90% illness detection, a greater than 2 years device lifespan, and a device weight less than 10 grams. And all of these kind of feed into what our long-term goal is for CowChip. In phases 2 and 3, we start to focus more on our energy and our power consumption by integrating energy harvesting into our device. And we start to reduce the size and weight of our device by doing chiplet integration. So one of the biggest things for phases 2 and 3 is fully replacing all of our harmful batteries with energy harvesters. So that way our device can be completely energy neutral. One of the also big things about phases 3 specifically is making our terrestrial volume for terrestrial animals less than 200 millimeters cubed. And together through this, we can also ensure that our device lasts more than 3 years. Hitting all of those KPIs will hopefully move us into phases 4 and 5, where we can truly start to diversify our product into all animals on Earth. One of the main issues that we find whenever we start diversifying is for these truly endangered animals here on Earth. Getting communication out to scientists or farmers is really difficult because if you think these animals are living in the middle of the rainforest or in the middle of the desert, where communicating out through sometimes even satellite can be very difficult. So having the next generation and future products that allow this type of difficult communication in between habitats is very important. And then also continuing to shrink our device down to the point where we could start working with nano implants. So that way any animal on Earth can be serviced by our device. Some KPIs for phases 4 and 5 are greater than 95% delivery data rate within 1 minute. So as soon as there is data that needs to be sent to a scientist or farmer, it's going to happen within that minute. So that way immediate response can happen if it is an emergency. Also, an implant mass for our device being less than 2% of the body mass of the animal. So that way these animals can live with this device inside of them and truly never notice it. And a device life of greater than 6 years. So that way a lot of animals can be serviced with their entire lifetime with our device. And once we've reached the end of phase 5, we'll move into phases 6 and 7, where we use future technology to make a truly monolithic MEMS on CMOS device, where we develop a one-die integration for an ultra-small universal health device. Some of the more important KPIs for phases 6 and especially 7 is a lifelong energy neutral device, where no matter what the animal is on Earth, this device will live its complete lifetime in it. Also a 97% recall on health events. So this is looking more towards the memory of our system and making sure that that farmers and scientists can build a complete database of all of these animals. And full biocompatibility for any animal on Earth. This goes into why we need to develop a one-die integration. Because if you think of some of the smallest fish on Earth or some of the smallest birds, we can't stick a big device in them. So it needs to be ultra small. So that way the animals truly never know that this device is in them. And our long-term goal for CowChip is called AnyChip, where any animal can be serviced by our device, a lifelong species-agnostic implant for real-time AI-driven health monitoring across all animals, including livestock, wildlife, and aquatic animals. That way, no matter what animal is on Earth, it can have its health data taken and truly thrive.
Thank you, Eli. So, what are the tangible benefits of the CowChip platform? We'll see them across 4 key areas. First, the economics. The platform allows farmers to reduce cattle mortality by detecting early signs of illness and heat stress, preventing disastrous hair loss, and avoiding expensive veterinary treatments. Furthermore, by monitoring for estrus, it helps optimizes breeding cycles, and by reducing the need for manual health inspections, it directly decreases labor cost. Secondly, this has a direct impact on the wildlife, on welfare. By identifying disease and stress early, we can minimize the suffering of cattle. This aligns perfectly with agriculture's sector's growing demand and emphasis on ethical and humane animal management. Third, this leads to greater sustainability. An unwell cow consumes resources like feed and water inefficiently. Our system helps reduce this waste and it supports more efficient and sustainable farming practices. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, for our long-term strategy is scalability. This architecture is designed to be generalized, and this means that we can scale from cattle monitoring into other terrestrial and aqua species, creating a path to enter markets like wildlife monitoring, conservation, and general pet health. This gives CowChips the potential to dominate multiple market verticals as a cornerstone technology. So, of course, this project, this ambitious, is not without challenges. We've identified the primary technical bottlenecks and have developed a strategy to mitigate them. Our first challenge is MOS scaling limits. As we shrink CMOS transistors for future smaller devices, issues like sub-threshold leakage and short channel effects become dominant bottlenecks. This leads to an exponential growth in leakage current, which is a major problem for the ultra-low power operation our device requires. Our mitigation strategy here is materials innovation, where we will use low leakage technologies like FD silicon on insulator and advanced non-volatile memory like eMRAM to maintain efficiency. Next is MEMS reliability. Unlike pure silicon logic, MEMS sensors have moving parts that interact with the environment, making them susceptible to failure from mechanical and electrical stresses. We face risks like stiction, where biological fluids can cause permanent adhesion between the surfaces, as well as sensor drift over time, which leads to inaccurate readings. To solve this, our strategy is advanced packaging, using wafer-level hermetic sealing and corrosion-resistant biocompatible encapsulates to protect the sensors and ensure the longevity. We also anticipate challenges with the energy harvester efficiency. Current energy harvesters have low conversion efficiency under the unstable conditions found in living animal. So our mitigation here is system level intelligence. We will implement an AI-driven adaptive power management system that optimizes energy consumption based on the available harvested power, ensuring the device operates effectively even with an intermittent source. Finally, the inherent integration complexity of combining very different materials and processes is a significant hurdle. Our mitigation is a robust heterogeneous integration plan, employing techniques like 3D stacking for MOS components and hybrid bonding for MEMS on CMOS integration to create a compact, reliable, and manufacturable system. So, why CowChip and why now? First, CowChip addresses a critical need in a multi-billion industry. As we've discussed, traditional methods fail to detect illnesses and stress until it's too late, leading to catastrophic herd losses, like the one in Kansas, where farmers lost millions of dollars worth of cattle in a single heat wave. CowChip provides the proactive, real-time data that modern agriculture is desperately missing. Second, this project creates an entirely new platform for our company. So the anti-chip vision outlined in our roadmap shows a clear path from cattle, agricultural product, to a high-growth, high-reward platform from general animal health. By proving the technology in cattle, we create the foundation to expand into wildlife conservation, fisheries, and even the pet health market. And third, this initiative builds directly on our strength. We are a semiconductor company, so this product leverages our core expertise. We're not starting from scratch. We are applying our world-class skills to a new and highly lucrative market. Given this clear and compelling opportunity, our recommendations are specific and actionable. First, we recommend you to greenlight phase 0 development. As detailed in our roadmap, this initial phase is focused on proving value quickly by using off-shelf components to build our first prototypes. This will allow us to validate the systems with real-world partners while minimizing R&D. Second, we ask you to allocate the necessary resources to implement a market-ready prototype within the next 12 months. This timeline is aggressive but achievable, and it will give us a critical first mover advantage in the market. Thank you.